Do you miss DVD commentary tracks? Well, fear not, because I've gone for the most scorned critic in all of YouTube. I'm here to give you commentary tracks for the movies streaming, the movies we love, and sometimes those we love to hate. Tonight, got a good one for you. This is one of anybody with a sense of decency in their body's favorites. It's Aliens from 1986, directed by James Cameron, starring Sigourney Weaver and a lot of other fine performers. However, I am going to be watching the new 4K release, and this is the theatrical version. But before we get into it, I want to give a quick mention to my buddies over at calderalab.com, makers of the Face SPF, the only sunscreen that during these hot summer months nullifies the chest burster. Use my promo code FRY15 to save 15% at checkout. Well, okay, I have got my IBC root beer with me, and I have learned my lesson. I am not going to do the popcorn. I may do it in the future, but I know you guys don't like all the chewing. But anyways, let's open this up ASMR style. And we're about to watch the theatrical release of Aliens, the 1986 version, not the special edition. This version runs about 2 hours, 17 minutes, which I think is what is posted at present on Hulu. So if you would like to watch along with me, go ahead, queue up to 0000 and hit play now. Now, granted, I am watching this brand new 4K version, which has had a lot of touch-ups to it. It is not a straight 4K transfer. It is using the latest in AI technology. Yeah, artificial intelligence has cleaned up the print. And I've heard things about this. I will be live reacting to this, as this is my first time watching it as is. Very weird popping the disc into my Xbox. It wanted to play right away. Foregoing setup, menus, all that. And there is a menu. It's not as fanciful as DVD menus used to be. In fact, I think that my old DVD from, I think it was part of the quadrology, they called it in the day. This was maybe a circa 99, 2000 DVD, something like that. It had, I think it had a pretty cool menu in there, if I'm not mistaken. I know Alien had a good menu where you like went around the Nostromo. Already, you don't really expect the titles to look that clean. So here we're going to see matte painting in space. I wanted to give you this commentary because I wanted to sort of live react to whatever snafus I'm seeing in this transfer of the film. There are some people saying, hey, all told, Aliens has never looked this good. I'm sure James Cameron had some reasoning behind this process for this release. It's possible, as people are saying, oh, he didn't have time to oversee it, so he just kind of rushed off True Lies and Aliens for this release, is what he did. Some people are saying that. I'm not totally denying that that's a possibility, but let's also consider that, as I believe James Cameron stated, Kodak did not have the development process down for their new film stock in 86, and so every 86 movie using Kodak film looks incredibly grainy. And already, man, I'm seeing a sharpness here aboard the what? Narcissus, or was that the name of the escape pod? I know we're going to see some bright lights in a sec from oh, hey, that looks kind of neat. Yeah, and also this movie is framed well for a 4K TV. It's not the ultra wide where you have too much bars. I don't personally mind movies using this aspect ratio. I know Ang Lee's Hulk is frowned upon for such reasons, right? Now, I am watching in HDR, but the arc on this, that doesn't really look like the full nit brightness one would anticipate. This is a movie that offers that kind of possibility, you know, stark contrast, black and lighting. So maybe it's really not using the full brightness possibilities of HDR. Though I don't have Dolby Vision, I don't think I'm missing out on it. I don't think I'm missing out on HDR plus not being readable for a disc in the Xbox, but I mean, I've watched plenty of HDR stuff so far that's really popped. So, what can I possibly say that I did not say in the special edition? I believe I made the point that the special edition is arguably the superior cut. It gives motivation to Ripley. She has the mother bonding aspect with Newt. In here, it's simply because she's a kid, so she's trying to protect her. It doesn't really seem as motivated, though. Hey, you're the good guy. Of course, you're going to protect the kid. It seems reasonable enough, doesn't it? Now, one of the weird things about that DVD from back in the day, and I can't tell if I've got the volume up too high or not. I know we'll find out in the chest burster dream sequence how loud this is going to get. The DVD of Aliens is just so off on the noise levels. It is the final word, and have your remote on the volume, cranking it up because you can't hear anybody, and then ear bleed when like any kind of attack goes down. Space station looks very matte painting right there, but there's an endearing quality of that. Oh, this is looks pretty clean here. I mean, I'm so used to seeing this looking so incredibly like and jarringly like distractingly so with the grain. And there's still some film grain here. There is an argument that you want to preserve the film grain and then some don't. 4K can really bring out the grain. Look at the release of Weird Science, for example. Very grainy through and through. Now, are you preserving the film if you have it less grainy? Was it in original presentation when it was first on screens? Was it that grainy, or is that a quality of it deteriorating in time? And then also, I think that you want as clean as possible for animation. If I'm watching a 4K anime, make it as clean as possible. The telecine process, shooting it to get it on TV, VHS, on screen even, you're just introducing a medium there that doesn't need to be. So, yeah, I mean, make it look as as straight as illustrated to the screen you're watching on. Skip everything in between. Man, I cannot escape Paul Reiser right now. He was in Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. Unfortunate title. All right, how loud is this going to get here? I feel like I might have just saw one of these weird AI artifacts of sorts in Sigourney Weaver's face, but it's like if it's there, it's for like a frame. You'd have to slow this down for capture. I may have a way to do that. Now, I've also heard that it seems to be faces in the background, less in focus, that are the ones that get overly sharp, and the AI didn't realize what they were doing with their face. I know there's a shot of Vasquez in particular I'm going to look for aboard the Sulaco. So I don't know why we had to call Jonesy stupid here. Yeah, little bit of a more abrupt edit there, just taking her right into this debriefing with the company. In the and also those are Recaro seats with the headrest taken off. Not overtly futuristic, but a little different than what one would necessarily find in a any kind of board meeting in the 80s. So try to differentiate it a little bit. Though that girl's haircut, man, she's got like this mo thing happening here. Yeah, come on now. It destroyed my crew. That seems to be precedent over your expensive ship, right? It does strike me as weird that she actually is gone for 50 years adrift in space, and that being told that during the dream sequence wasn't just exclusive to the dream sequence. And look how checked out some of these guys. Like this guy next to this broad right area, he's like asleep. He's like, yeah, it's another one of these. You killed the creature we wanted, and yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. We've got hearings like this all the time. They always blow up the creature, blow it up out the airlock, cut it in half, kill it so we can't use it. I miss the way her hair looks here. She goes for a mom look in a sec, and it's like when she has a panic of waking up. And by the way, we're about to like jump to like 2 weeks later or so. Here we go with the shake and bake colony. Is shake and bake still a thing, and did you help? There are some spots here where you can see a smoothening of skin or maybe a sharpening effect around facial features, but it only really stands out if it's somebody that it's not up close. Like it's more of a wide shot or in between. Did we see as many pores on Sigourney Weaver's face? I think at this point we've already had our extended shot of like Newt's family going out and getting the thing, and we got to try to set up that there is a dilemma on the colony. Theatrical cut edits that out. I could go back and forth on which way is the superior way to tell this story. You've lost contact with a colony we've never seen. It is a little against the like screenwriting 101 playbook, isn't it? But I kind of feel like seeing it beforehand without any of the actual carnage, I'm not so sure if that's really the best way to do it either. Maybe it doesn't live up to your expectations. And that rover looks bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're an advisor. That's it. These guys are tough hombres. Yes, this advisor, you're not really a Marine sort of thing. Who did this lately over there at Netflix? Could it be Jennifer Lopez and Atlas, a movie you've probably never even heard about because everything comes and goes now? She wants to be that warrant officer again, right? She's got that short hair, man. She's got that kind of grandma do. But maybe shorten it up a little bit, gives her a little bit more of an athleticism thing. Of course, like each movie, we progressively get shorter to the point that we shave the head completely, and then we have to start over. Long hair, right? Oh, we've got these internal demons. How weird would it be now? A character wakes up sweaty from a nightmare that we don't watch. I mean, we've seen one nightmare. We don't need another nightmare sequence, do we? It's like, nope, guilty conscience. I gotta clear my name. Gotta maybe rescue whoever we can in the colony. Been holding out for a while now, all things told, right? So how does this phone call thing work now? You insert the glass card. Is this your prepaid phone card? I think phone cards may have been a thing at this point. Maybe that made it relatable. This is the trailer right here. Just tell me one thing. We're going out there to destroy them. How good is your word, Burke? I don't want to hear another word from you. Zip. Actually, no, I think it's more like a, hey, if you want to call me, insert this card and you can, and we can talk. So it's like you're handing out your card slash phone number. The Sulaco, the first spaceship to look like a gun. At least that's the way I feel about it. Now, in this version, are we going to better see the interior? I think we actually have a few shots less. We extended, the special edition extends this out a little bit. You get to see the empty liminal spaces. Oh yeah, and here we've got like a mirror set up so that we can like double the amount of these pods and all that. But yeah, we saw the lockers. I think there was even like a pin up. You know, kind of in a similar vein to how you looked around the inside of the Nostromo before everybody woke up. Sarge has his cigar on hand, ready to go. It's the only way you can wake up. Yeah, it's weird the way he says, like, let's shake it, but he sounds like shank it. Like, maybe it wasn't the best take. Here we coming up. Yeah, I should have put some slippers on. A lot of the Marines have this almost it's not quite surly, but it's like a casual badass attitude thing happening. They are all exuding the attitude. I mean, even Frost seems to get a decent amount of one-liners going, only to be like what, the first one killed, close to it. I don't know if Jeanette Goldstein actually did the pull-ups in this, but I mean, looking at her arms, I would think so. And yeah, the Latink's face, as I guess they would call it now, might be a bad look. Might be kind of hard to even talk to her about this role, but I'd like to. Now we've got this body humor here over at the mess hall. It's kind of off-putting here to Officer want to be reinstated, Officer Ripley, right? And we make some jokes here that seem a little bit on the bisexual side, and they have a little laugh at it, but then it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter if it's Arcturian. Yeah, like what, they have a reputation of just being so hot, even the straight dudes go for it. Oh yeah, the knife trick. You gotta have a little trick, right? To kind of help show the audience that I don't know, the competency brings out a little bit of personality with everybody present too. We're the first film, we basically have space truckers. We still have a working class outfit that we've tagged along with. It is still very different from the science focused missions of Star Trek that would be most people's idea of a space faring crew. All right, we're about to get my favorite line in the movie here. Paul Reiser nails this. We always have his synthetic on board. Oh, right. Artificial person. Like, he just really does this well. I didn't even know. The artificial person malfunctioned. Like, almost called a synthetic. Trying to be respectful. Oh, that explains it, man. Of course, the A2s were always a bit twitchy. These are bands for your metal, your nerd metal, like names for your nerd metal band, right? The A2s were always twitchy. Artificial person. She just blows up because she don't like the cornbread either. Smash cut to commercial break, like perfect commercial break transition. All right. We're going to look in the background here for Vasquez. This looks fine. All right. Oh, man, how much would I have to zoom in for that to look weird? I'm on a 55 inch. I'm sitting about 6 feet away. I mean, I'm usually a stickler for the visuals, but I'm not seeing a lot to complain about. Some facial features do look like they've been hit with a little bit of a enhanced face technique. Like, I'm seeing more sharp lines in them. But it might be downplayed slightly. It doesn't come across as all that unnatural. There does seem to be some detail smoothing, though, as far as skin texture. I've heard that they've tried to do this with Predator, and it actually ended up way worse. That there is a release of Predator that is just so smooth. Or maybe, no, maybe it was Terminator 2, actually. Like a 2017 4K Terminator 2 disc that is too... Well, I've heard things about Predator also, but Terminator 2 was like way smoothed. Maybe that's just a smoothing filter versus using AI. Maybe the shot people are complaining about with Vasquez in the distance there, maybe that's a little bit different in the special edition, because nothing really stood out to me. Everybody gets to mouth off to Corman. Actually, I'm trying to think here. Maybe is his name not an homage? Let me look at how they even spelled that. Another sort of those good spots for a commercial break. Gosh, do not use Bing to look for the cast of Aliens. Gotta be more specific. Love the power loader. It gets set up well. Of course, we try to do everybody's got their own super power loader in Atlas. And she had trained to use the power loader while basically suspended. Gorman, not Corman, but hey, it's not far off. Gorman, I should have known that. And the Alien Stomper Reeboks came back in a very limited run. I don't know if those were available in 86 to coincide with this film. You really get the impression that the power loader is real, like this could be a thing. There we go. We got like is that a matte shot with a miniature one going and stop motion in the back? I mean, it works pretty well. And I've never had anything to complain about it in the final fight with the power loader. Spoilers, I'm sure hoping that you've seen this before. Adios. And yeah, you've all heard all the stuff here. The actors went through some training. Apone was actually a Green Beret, so he did have a good understanding of how to lead the unit. And they were all encouraged to kind of dress up their attire, their guns, make them bespoke. Kind of gives them the a bit of a loose feel about them. I think that this was a intentional situation here. Try to make them like Vietnam. Like, okay, if this was World War II, a little more buttoned down, right? But if it's Vietnam, loose. You don't want to wear a helmet, fine. You don't wear a helmet. Hey, put on some kind of pads. This guy have googly eyes on him. It's kind of looked like it. Now, you can never wrap your head around the interior dimensions of, oh man, what is this car thing called? I know that in practical purpose, it helps tow jumbo jets, but it just seems immensely huge inside and not that big on the outside. Like, we're looking at almost capability to stand up in. Now, obviously, we got a miniature in action here. I wonder if this release brings out the miniature aspect more. Maybe. Now, in the pipe 5x5, this is actual jargon. Just means all looks good, clear, whatever. But probably your first time coming across it in Aliens, and when people want to start quoting Aliens for whatever it purposes, right? The Pharaoh character here is very much like Foehammer in Halo Combat Evolved. You hear the 5x5, you hear all the stuff, and then you have somebody who likes to quote Aliens in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I like to keep this for close encounters. Marines, we are leaving. I think they even say, yeah. So. Curious how this will look here, because this gets some really thick matte outlines on it. So how did they clean that up? Ah, okay. What about when we go through the clouds, which I think are cotton? Balls of cotton. Okay, it looks like AI may have done something to clean this up as far as those matte outlines. It's fairly noticeable. It doesn't look like it's actually interacting, going through the clouds so much on the wide shot from behind, descending. But who knows? You'd have to get some side by side comparisons going. How many drops you done, Gorman? Oh man, we got such a rookie here. Did you know he's a rookie? Like, she kind of giving Burke that look. You sent me in here with these guys? And like I was saying with that Atlas movie over on Netflix, it's so wanting to do the aliens like, oh, we don't respect her when she's telling us, how things operate, right? Like all the scenes, they just try to do the same stuff. Gorman very into the technical overseeing, distancing himself from the action. This scene looks so different. Like, the lighting is closer to even, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I mean, it's not nearly as dark inside of the I guess they're not in the drop ship really. I mean, they're still inside the car. The car in the drop ship, right? I mean, it's just so immensely huge, isn't it? Atmospheric processor. Not a bad miniature. And you can do so much good stuff with miniatures and computer married today, but instead it's just easier to do it all computer. This release comes with a code to watch digital, which I wonder if that has the same treatment essentially. I think some of these services do offer high dynamic range, if not the 4K or close, when you bought the appropriate copy. Voodoo, let's see, they just changed their name to something else, but that's where I'll try to redeem it. Place seems kind of dead. You sit down here in the Alien vs. Predator 2 PC game. I think you go to Hadley's Hope, if not very similar situation. Trying to recall. And at the time, it was like, wow, it's as close as you got to the movies. Whoa. So impressive. There may be a bit of a green tinge to this picture that, as far as like just in the color grading, that wasn't there previously, or even in like my old DVD release. And it's making the colors look a little muted in some places where maybe they shouldn't, but that also tends to happen with a lot of releases. Like over time, it's hard to get the Matrix to look like the Matrix. They keep grading the Matrix to look like the Matrix Reloaded. What happened here? Conduit strewn about, walls, seen better days. Now, I would wonder if you are making a colony, right? You want to kind of make it look a little more like home, right? It doesn't need to look as utilitarian as a spaceship, I would think. Like, this doesn't look particularly inviting, does it? Look, cleaned up. Doesn't this look like OSHA safety hazard type thing? Like, you want a place where kids might come visit and whatever. Surely the kids' daycare center doesn't look like this, right? Yeah, man, these are some of the scenes that are going to look the most grainy here, too. Like shots in the little command center. Look at this. I mean, just what a lot of sharp objects someone can bump into. I'm not really sure why the floor needs to be drain grate so much. I mean, you've set up a colony, a living space, right? Like, I don't know. It just kind of. You will also see the Wayland Yutani logo on places. According to, I think the popular assumption is it's the only company or close to it. You have the Sevastopol station. Of course, they didn't really work all this out from the Siegson Corporation in Alien Isolation, sort of retconned into existence through that game, which came out 2014, man. We're coming up on 10 years. Getting pretty close to 10-year anniversary of that game dropping. I think in September. Oh, how's AI going to treat these cam shots here, huh? Oh, yeah, of course. Hudson kind of gets hey, quit screwing around, you. You call that secure? It's secure enough in the sense that we haven't seen anything to shoot at. It's secure enough for me to show up, yep. But the lieutenant, he gets an arc, right? Like he toughens up some after he gets concussed. So you think the colonists put up a bit of a barricade, had the last stand here, huh? And then this room, this like science room, gets to be a sort of a command setup, a new base hub. You got to be a little bit concerned that your artificial person gravitated towards using this as their forward operating base. Oh, hey, yeah, I'm into the science. Yeah, I kind of want to study this creature over here. It looks like they got one over here, and a remarkable specimen. Now, I wonder how they came across these. You didn't pry them out of the eggs and capture them so much. Did they fall off after they got done, you know, impregnating a host? I think that's the likely scenario. Oh, those look familiar to you, huh? Those are the things, huh? You're not just making this stuff up. It's amazing how your ship didn't have any video cameras, any log that transferred over to the escape pod, none of that, right? Of course, like the future based on where we're at even now, you'd have a lot of footage of the big chap, wouldn't you? So they got two that are alive that they removed before implantation, but it killed the hosts. I'm guessing that's what happened. He explained one guy anyway. All right, we're about to be introduced to Newt, one of the good kid actors who I don't believe ever acted again. Hey, got to go out on a high note, right? I would need to see, for comparison's sake, what an Alien 4K looks like. If done through a scan of the film at 4K or higher or whatever, right? Hell, mastered at 8K, presented 4K, something, whatever, something, right? But how would that compare to the way this looks? Because I mean, the picture looks clean and sharp, but at some points the faces don't quite look authentic. Like there was a wonky shadow there. There's something going on with the shadows back there. Gorman's face. It's pretty rare, but it's when people are slightly out of focus that it seems like the AI has some trouble. Your attention's going to be drawn towards what is in focus if you're actually watching the film. I mean, it's rack focus, kind of a tactic to help tell stories. She crawls around under the floors. They set that up to be used in the big fight at the end. A little bit of a light strobe effect here. Though I'm trying to think if you get much of a strobe light thing happening in this one. People mention the Alien franchise and strobe lights, but it's only for a little bit at the end of the first film so much. And it might be enough now that you'd have to have some disclaimer beforehand. Rebecca Jordan. I guess this is their true command center, right? But nonetheless, Bishop wants to hang out over there at the science operation area. Or maybe this is called operations. I don't know. People that are just drifting out of focus look a little clay-like. But look, is the trade-off like dramatically less grain and your attention's going to be elsewhere? I don't know. Maybe that's not the worst thing. You get a nice little interaction here. Uh-oh, I made a clean spot. Gotta do the whole thing now. Yep. It's the only way to be sure. No, we don't have smartwatches in the future. What are you talking about? got smart guns. Never really understood what was so smart about the smart gun in the movie. I don't think the fires tracer rounds that track, anything to that extent. The other major difference yet to come in the special edition, not entirely needed. They have some sentry guns that they set up that, okay, it looks cool. It shoots some alien xenomorphs, but you see like the same one blow up once or twice, like 2 or 3 times for that matter. Kind of just replays the same clip. And it's loud. And I mean, okay, so it took some of them out, but they can still come get you, and it's clearly indicates that maybe the sentry guns were not worth including in the storytelling to begin with, if they weren't even effective. Whether they were used or not didn't really have an effect on the story, so cutting room floor it goes. I think also these discs contain all the old featurettes. I think there's a very lengthy documentary, I think it's called With Maximum Power, or With These Weapons, or I don't know. With these weapons, I don't know. Like, that's actually a line from the Terminator. All right, I badgered you into saying your family's dead. Okay, got it. You can go now, right? Bishop, I don't really like you fiddling around with this specimen, so I'm a little concerned about this. Intensely focused on the specimens and not paying a whole lot of attention to humans, huh? Definitely setting us up to think something is up with this guy. What are we doing with the, like, stubble facial hair on Hudson here? It's like there, and then next shot it isn't. And then sometimes there's a decent amount of stubble on Hicks. I mean, heck, Hudson looks like he's got like a goatee I hadn't even really noticed before. I guess it kind of comes out in the details of, not having the grain everywhere. But then in other shots, it's almost like he's going for a smooth shave. But what will the AI do with the xenomorphs, huh? Recognizing not quite a face. Does it just say, hey, it looks like pipe. That must be plumbing over there, and it's a little moist. Is that what it's going to do? From the bird's eye shot of why am I missing the name of this thing? The car. Why am I calling it that? It's not the power loader. The bird's eye shot of it kind of looked like an animation as it was coming in, like how Batman's cape shadow is animated in the '89 film when he first appears. All right, I gotta look this up. Why do I feel stupid over here? Car from Aliens. Every armored personnel carrier. The APC? Okay, yeah, that rings a bell. All right, keep your eyes peeled. In this shot, I think Hicks is played by James Remar, but you don't see his face. And that's it. We're getting a nice look at the alien architecture, aren't we? I mean, when they take over, they kill off the inhabitants, right? And they redecorate. This disc set has a lot of discs. It's got at least 3 or 4, but I think it also has a Blu-ray with everything, all the bonus features. There might even be bonus features on the 4K too. When I started playing this, it started, I mean, as soon as I put it in, it was playing the theatrical version. Just skip the menu, everything. But on the same disc, you can swap to the special edition. And in doing so, triggers like a little bit of a preamble from James Cameron. Oh, how's this movie going to handle that first chest burster victim, huh? And you know what? Oh gosh, is it not included in the special edition? But in a further deleted, never included scene, Ripley encountering Burke when he's cocooned, and I think he gives some idea of where they may have taken Newt, and she hands him like a thermonuclear detonator, like uh, one of the grenades, something to kill himself. Oh man, you can't use live rounds in there. Okay. Yeah. Put that down and only use flame stuff. Yeah, deterrent things. Though going against these orders did actually rupture the core in some way, and then Bishop indicates we only have so much time. So, I mean, Gorman had the right idea in a sense. You don't need to be making this a ticking time bomb if you can't. If you, I mean, if you haven't escaped the planet yet, right? Well, no, I'm gonna keep the shotgun. Hicks, you and your close encounters may have just screwed this up. And we know the smart gun. Drake, Vasquez, they both have ammo in there still. I know it's not entirely possible, but maybe AI can someday give us a prequel of just Drake and Vasquez hanging out. Like if it comes to the point where maybe Netflix has the AI technology to just show you whatever you want to see. Oh, it's a bad end right there. Were they wearing Nikes or Keds? Or were those Converse? I should have looked. It's getting a little grisly over here, little girl. Maybe you should leave, even though you've probably seen most of this happen. Oh, there's a gal who had her chest burst. I hadn't noticed that detail before. This scene is just so dark, and I may pop in the DVD or right after, hit up Hulu and see a little bit of a contrast, a little bit of a comparison, or maybe try to start the film at the same time on the 4K disc and watch on my phone. this entire nest area is much more evenly lit. And yeah, I don't think that the brightness is nearly there. This doesn't feel like HDR. Right, honestly, I'm gonna click my thing here. It says I am watching in HDR, but brights are not popping. And one of the cool things about HDR is fire in particular just really pierces through it in a way that seeing a flame in real life would. I guess we'll see if that makes any kind of impact at all here, but I don't think it will. Flamethrower, let's see what it looks like. HDR. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it kind of just looks almost gray in the whites. At, gosh, what was this? $31? You might be kind of displeased, but I got it as part of this kind of like Prime Week special thing they had competing against Amazon over at Target. So I got pretty steady discount, but do keep in mind that these xenomorphs, they aren't outright black. They have a lot of highlights painted in for the presentation in the movie. Now, that is not to say that they have a lot of like blue accents in them within the narrative. It is so that certain parts stick out for the sake of filming. Oh, nice little jump scare right there. A little pat on the shoulder. This gal is the first to go. Is it Dietrich? Frost just got like lit up, but she's getting lifted, and he's carrying all their ammo, or the vast majority of it. Wazbowski, and some people are like, hey, okay, so wait, Crow, Frost, which one? Okay, Crow, Dietrich, Wazbowski. Just everybody's kind of getting it bad here. Oh, you may have just pierced the core right there, Vasquez. All right, everybody stop firing so I can hear the orders. You want suppressing fire and then back to the APC. Say what? Can't get you. Yep. Break up in the lines of communication. There's a lot said that there, and it's not too on the nose, but I don't think that it's to say, oh, the movie's actually about, like, these people who kind of talk in this manner. Aliens is actually about Vietnam. Like, you got these like tough American Marine guys come in, the maximum firepower, and they can't beat the natives. There's an allegory, but it is not the same thing as saying, well, what the movie's actually about. There's simply an allegory being made. And I don't think the movie's trying to get preachy about it too. Like, hey, ultimately we should just let them live the way they did with their hive mind state, right? Ripley once again taking charge, making the right call. You guys should have stayed in quarantine. You didn't, and now you infected the Nostromo. Oh, you want to freeze up? Fine. I'll drive the car. Oh man, and inside here with that red light, it was so grainy and dark, and now definitely not grainy. But it's probably actually lightened up too much. There might be an excessive amount of light throughout most of these shots. I mean, like I'm like over here oohing and awing about details I hadn't seen before, but maybe you weren't really supposed to pick up all of it. Well, watch out. Were you briefed on the acid blood, guys? Drake, we are leaving. Okay, I guess that is often misrecalled as Marines, we are leaving. But I think in Call of Duty, the guy does say, like, we are leaving, like, and it's supposed to be an homage. See that shot of the xenomorph getting torn up? That gets replayed and replayed and replayed in the sentry gun scene. He's still alive. I gotta go get him. Oh, now this will be a bad way to go about getting rid of this guy right here. Well, I mean, okay, he ate it, but you burned Bill Paxton pretty good, too. I think that this is actually a decent running time for the movie. 2:17. Special edition is a fair bit longer. Like, you really start to, I guess, in credits included, you really start to butt in close to a 3 hour. Imagine if you were at the theater and you had all the coming attractions too, right? Like, it would have been a little overkill. Aliens always sound a little bit of that elephant type sound. Uh, in in this movie, I don't think you really got that in the first film. Sort of elephant uh, trunk horn like sound from them, but hey, if only we had gone a little slower escaping. I don't know. Could we not have messed up the axle? But hey, maybe we wouldn't have been able to punch it out that door. Newt, a few words, but hey, she makes the most of it, right? Do I need to look up pendejo? I mean, I've got an idea what it could be. Okay, Bill Paxton most certainly does not have a goatee right now in this scene. So what is with that? Maybe he does, but it's like light colored or something. I, hmm. All right, Pandejo might be pubic hair. in Spanish. It's the only way to be sure. Hey, that's a campaign slogan right there. I like how Burke, he's got like his weekend adventure attire. He almost looks like he's going to go fly fishing. Hey, it's a very emotional time, guys, all right? But we're going to say that this is Marine jurisdiction stuff, and Corporal Hicks is in command. Military jurisdiction. I'm sorry. I should have said military jurisdiction. Yep, that's right. A multi-million-dollar installation. I would have thought it cost billions. All right. Found someone who can agree with me. That's someone I can trust. The Ripley Hicks connection. That would be Hicks on as VP on that ticket. I am ultimately disappointed with the lack of the high dynamic range aspect of this. I'm not picking up, the bright brights, and the blacks are not that black. Feels like a lot of it's kind of been moved towards middle ground. I guess in general, you see more detail in the shadows than you probably are used to, but in a way, it makes it look like a different movie. Hey, Pharaoh doesn't run. She pulls out her gun. She's willing to go to blows with this thing. No weird scream or any of that, right? Oh, this can't be good. A lot of that is rear projection, but it looks like it flows together so well, doesn't it? Like you're watching this in the theater in '86, you wouldn't even notice. Now, effects don't really hold up to repeat viewing. You'll be able to pick apart, surely, right? So here we go. We got our game over, man. Also made into a Netflix movie based on that title, even though it has nothing to do with any kind of game. It's kind of just garbage. But this scene was so grainy, also. They mostly come out at night, mostly. And I believe Carrie Hinn's Twitter account is I mostly tweet at night, mostly. And it's like, oh, I know who you are. 4 pulse rifles with 50 rounds. 15 M40 grenades. It kind of feels like enough ammo to do some damage. Here's where you would introduce the sentries. Yeah, good luck making it 17 days. I don't even know where the food's coming from here. I mean, the xenomorphs haven't ran through the pantry, right? But do you want to go make a supply run? Newt gets a spiritual successor in Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic Park 3 gives you that kid that kind of got cut loose from the parasailing, right? And ended up on the island, survived until his parents, who I think are from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and lied about their fortune, get Dr. Grant and a few other people to lay it on the line to go find him. Am I misremembering this movie? I do not recall Hudson having a pseudo goatee. Poor Newt, that every kid right there. You feel like you're not included in the plans. Oh, is that Hicks looking like a good father figure right there? Are we building a family in this movie? Lifting her up. Okay, fine. You can look at the plans too. Heck, maybe you even have some insight into how this whole place works. The Marines are able to seal and cut doors, it seems, pretty effectively. I'm not really sure what they have on hand that's doing that. I mean, it's not part of a gun, but it doesn't seem like standard kit, does it? Yeah, make sure you got all your weapons and your welding torch. Or is it a saline torch? Is that what you're going to use to cut? I don't know the ins and outs. Oh, we're going to get some face hugger action. Clearly, the face huggers are coming back for Aliens Romulus. I think that will be next month, August. I don't know if you had scary dreams, you wouldn't want to go sleep either. Are we getting some like additional crow's feet there and Ripley's around the eyes? Thanks to the AI. AI is like identifying middle-aged woman. The way her hair was creating a shadow kind of over her cheek moved a little funny. Yeah, it's the shadows and the focus. That's where the AI has trouble. I think that in the extended edition, she mentions that she had a little girl. Doesn't here, and it would be weird to bring it up here without the how's my daughter? What happened to my daughter? I want to know sort of stuff. Does this lighting look more orange than it did originally? Thought I thought this was going to be red or redder. I think that when this whole situation goes down, we should have a much more red environment, and especially in the air ducts, as we're fleeing the xenomorphs, that should be red. We shall see. Yeah, it's perfectly safe. I'll be in the next room. There's cameras. Yeah. The molecular acid dries after the creature's death, entirely neutralizing it. So, I mean, how does the acid know that the creature died? To stop cutting through stuff, or Oh, who's laying the eggs? Setting up the queen, are we? I think this is a way better approach than the scuttled, it captures people and they morph into eggs, which is not really effectively conveyed in the stupid extended edition, let's put the deleted scenes back in version of Alien. It's dumb because it's like, oh, okay, so we found people cocooned. It's a little bit different looking than it looks in this movie, which looks the cocooning effect looks better here. But you don't. It doesn't really convey to me turning into eggs. I mean, you see a few people lined up, and then you got kind of like an eggish thing. So, but the eggs were not lined on the wall, and in the where they found them originally, so it doesn't really add up. I prefer the way of it being a queen. Look, okay, so I wanted to have some of these specimens return. I know I told you we were going to wipe them out, but our weapons division could really use some of this stuff. Now, if you're smart, oh, he's about to do sleazier stuff, lady. Now he's hitting the passive aggressive. I expected more of you, you know? And it's because he's Burke is why you can't fully trust Paul Reiser in Stranger Things. He hasn't betrayed the kids yet, but it feels like they might be giving up too much information to him and he will betray them. You know, expect more of you, whatever. Blast radius 30 kilometers, 40 megatons. Yeah, we could be in trouble. The crash caused the overload. You think the dropship crashed into something? It kind of seemed to me like firing from the core may have been the rupture. Who could go out there and patch in manually, line the dish, and call for a dropship? I would bet remote piloting a ship down would be really difficult unless there was a program you could send for it to, automatically send you one. But surely the artificial person can handle it, right? It looks to me like Bishop may have alien stomper Reeboks as well. No easy task crawling like this. Like, this looks like a rough way to get through some pipe. He's like, nah, I don't need a gun. Forget it. I like the concern there with the watch your fingers. Stay frosty. That is not actually a reference to Frost and his sense of humor or any of that. It's more of a cool heads, maintain a cool head, don't melt under pressure, ergo stay frosty. So, I mean, surely she got some rest. Has it been 24 hours since you got out of hypersleep and set foot here? I mean, there was a little bit of time to prep before going down, right? I can't remember the time that they gave. Ah, yes, the alien's pulse rifle looks cool, makes a cool sound. Seems relatively effective at taking out the aliens, so uses a few bits and pieces from other weapons, and then you've got like some uh I don't know, man, for is it vacuum molded plastic, I think, to kind of put the rest of it together. All the stuff from this movie, whenever someone tries to, make their props for their cosplay, it's all based on molds from the original film, things like that, right? So you see a lot of, oh, yeah, the pulse rifle, it's from a mold from the original, or molded from one of the originals. I've seen a lot of face huggers listed like that on the internet, eBay or wherever. Are there not other beds? Like Newt took the only bed in the whole complex. Uh, the complex that you have cleared anyhow. Okay, so she gave the bed up, and you still want to sleep on the ground? They'll pull out a lot of cool tricks facehugger activity. There's some reverse reversed film played through backwards so that you can kind of bring in the tail quickly, and it looks pretty good. I think that in the newest film, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a completely remote control facehugger. I think they've had one in maybe Alien versus Predator or Whereabouts. But yeah, in Romulus, I would think that they'd probably have a remote one. Oh, what's that jar? This could be bad. Ripley quick to identify that one of the specimens has gotten out and may be crawling around in their room. Now, what do you do in this situation? Hey, get the duct tape out. Cover your mouth. Put something between your face. No audio in brackets. If we can get to that pulse rifle, which I just learned about, but hey, we know what it can do. Oh, you Burke. You had to be a Burke, didn't you? Oh, let's turn off that monitor. Don't want anybody seeing that. Oh, nice. Yeah. Bishop made it to the uplink tower. Nice. Okay. Smoke them if you got them. Hey, at least they have some video surveillance in this one. That is some tough... Gosh, I don't even know if that's glass at that point. You know, the way that's reverberating. Is it maybe a polycarbonate? Yeah, me too. It's okay to be scared, kid. Now you have two of these things in here, right? What's taking their time? All right, now this should be a distinct red color. In the med lab. Let's go. There's a fire. In case it's actually a fire, let's grab a fire extinguisher. Oh, yeah, there we go with that reverse footage for the tail whipping around the neck. And there's the second one. No. Dives through. Let's go. I don't think this is coming across as red of a light as I'd hoped, and maybe not as bright. All right, Hudson, I think you landed a shot or two there eventually, right? All right, wad this thing up, throw it, and get ready. Yeah, I would say Vasquez is a better aim. This movie does such a good job of establishing characters that you care about, you hate, right? In the case of Burke, like the sliming, and he's not over the top with it, like, ha 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 ha, excellent. This is all part of my plan. Like, it doesn't go that direction with it, but you get a sense of pretty much just about everybody, like everybody that survived to this point, right? The core crew, that is, I guess we could say. We don't know Dietrich Westbowski. Frost we get some hint of, but yeah, but these guys here, you kind of understand how each of them would handle the situation. Hudson's got a fun role in that he is like the all talk, gets kind of scared, mans up at the end, comes back around, has an arc, it works out. Gorman also similar. He's not all talk, but he does come in seemingly and yeah, this is supposed to be quite red right here. It's red, but I don't know if that's the right shade. I was saying Gorman, he comes around too. He gets his redemption. He gets a chance. And to that end, I even wonder if they have not a 4K, but maybe the like Blu-ray version of this, a 1080p parsed down of this transfer on Hulu. I'm not sure. I'd have to look and see how much grain activity we got over there. That'd be the real tell. They're all over us, but where are they? Does any aspect of this movie feel passe? Like, oh, there were two face huggers crawling around in the room and it was locked. La-di-da. Have we gone so far with stakes being raised that could a kid not appreciate this? That's kind of what I wonder. What does signal clean mean? Like, yep, there's definite movement. It's not a glitch. No, we think there may be about one xenomorph per colonist, about 70 potentially. All right, we sealed the doors. They're not coming through. All right, where are they? Yeah, you're not reading it like you doofus. Let me look at it. Nope, they're here. You want to stick your head up? No, we get an iconic shot. Which I think when I did the commentary for the special edition, I went back and forth on thinking, what's the thumbnail going to be? You have, I think it might have been like 6 aliens costumes here because you only get like 6 on screen at once is really the way it goes. And you aren't employing like, 6'11", 7-foot dancer actor. You're kind of going for more of a trapeze gymnast type here, somebody who can jump around, move. You see them jump up onto these tables and things, and it's not that easy to pull off, especially with these costumes. I mean, heck, I wonder how anybody was able to do a backflip in one of the Jim Henson Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle outfits. Burke with the last backstab. Oh, okay, well, I mean, if I stay with you guys, you're gonna kill me anyway, right? But maybe I can escape and just tell old Bishop there that they didn't make it. I mean, it's a reasonable play for his sake. Here we go, the death of Hudson. Who may not have just died. Maybe they brought him back and are gonna nail him to the wall. Vasquez has a high xenomorph body count. She does all right. They're melting the locking mechanism, I guess. Burke, the place was surrounded. Come on, you should have known better. Expected more out of you. Thought you were smarter than this. And that's a kill blow for Burke. Exceptionally big air shafts in here. Now, the most preposterously sized air shafts of all movies probably belongs to Double Dragon. When they climb around in the HVAC stuff to get into like the Patrick, Patrick, why am I fuzzing on Robert Patrick? Yeah, Robert Patrick's base, his HQ in Double Dragon. I mean, they can almost stand up in those air ducts. These are sizable too. Now, you never really run into air ducts that massive in, even a high-rise office building, nothing like that, because you'd eat up a ton of space. I mean, like, look, you're looking at like almost knocking some floors off your building if you're going to have ducts like this. Well, hey, Newt can almost stand up. She knows the way. Jeanette Goldstein not firing this gun. You can kind of see that that's not her in a shot there, but the close-up firing the gun, not her. That's actually producer Gail Ann Hurd. Gorman manning up a bit here. Going back to get Vasquez. Didn't have to go do this. Got a bit of that acid. Hope. Get some shots in. But hey, that dome seems to be deflecting some rounds. I wonder if they're going to come in with something really heavy, like in Alien Romulus, like, well, hey, so I got the Desert Eagle, or the BFG, or who knows. Yeah, the BFG, the Big Friendly Giant. Okay, did I miss the "you always were an asshole, Gorman"? Is that a special edition thing? I didn't think so, or did I just overlook it? I'll have to go back and look and see if I missed that. is it plausible enough that the shock from the explosion might have kind of forced Newt to lose footing? It's okay, we've got a tracker. Hicks moving with purpose. This was the iconic shot that I cited on when it came to what will be the thumbnail for the commentary previous go around. They're not far from her. Oh, no other way. We got to cut it. Everybody's got a torch. Yeah, okay. I'll stay here. Oh, geez. The lot of iconic sound effects. Just the sound design of this movie really hits right, doesn't it? It's not just the pulse rifle sounds cool or the smart gun. You recognize those sounds, but even the motion detector. Oh. I gotta wonder, like, okay, if Hulu pretty much owned by Disney, and if you're gonna put the 20th century stuff, the 20th Century Fox IPs and the like over there, why is this not in 4K over on Hulu? Like, I don't get that. Oh, but we'll have, shoot, if I wait long enough, do I get to watch Romulus in 4K on Hulu? That's the problem with knowing where these things will end up. That strikes me as a will go to Hulu, not a Disney Plus. And frankly, I don't think any R-rated stuff should be heading to Disney Plus. It doesn't sit right with me. Oh, this door just didn't close on the first push. And now it kind of had to do this. Like, oh, the door just didn't shut right so that we could take Hicks out of the movie so that Ripley can go do stuff on her own. Man, look at all that smoke from the acid. Like, must have been pretty bad. There was no other smoke in the tiny elevator, was there? Remote pilot, yes. Certainly something you want to do with a lot of fog around you so that you can't see the like armature off in the back. Huh? We're not? Why is that? Oh, you got to rescue a girl who's going to die off camera in the next movie before, like, in the opening credits? Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We have time. I was curious how this would look. You could probably go in and make some more changes to this to try to clean up that ship, maybe. Make it look less obviously matted. And I don't know if there's a thing here where they've preserved an error or they have made a change about how she ties this together. It's like there's something off. I'm trying to recall what the ins and outs of it are, but it's like she didn't actually put a flamethrower together, and then she has a flamethrower there, but she laid down two different weapons. two different weapons than what she ended up with, or the order in which she did it. There's something about it that's a goof thing. All right, we got ourselves the Ripley special here. Take as many of those as you can. Oh yeah, Hicks is in position to stop him. Look, I mean, this movie is met with really good reception. You know, Sigourney Weaver nominated Oscar Best Actress. That's in this genre incredibly unusual, if not remaining unprecedented. But I mean, it's like such a thrill ride too. Like once the final act gets going, it's like, well, how much more can we do? Like even just fighting the what we fought so far and escaping seems almost like enough. But no, we up the ante. We bring the queen in, and then it goes even further. Oh, action pose. Maybe that right there is the thumbnail for you. You got the thumbnails that play the faces work really good, but you got to be able to tell what movie you're looking at too. All of this theatrical smoke is gonna put the AI to task, surely, right? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to fire this up on Hulu immediately after, just to kind of see what may be different, or if maybe they're running the same transfer. You know, just at Blu-ray spec, because it says HD. It didn't say 4K there, whereas Prey is 4K with high dynamic range on Hulu. The place has to look like it's blowing, right? So the pipes are bursting. And I would assume that like at every turn you kind of want to leave a flare, kind of help you find your way back. A little bit of strobe. Now, maybe it's around here if we were to reinsert a deleted scene where she'd come across Burke first before finding Newt. But I kind of think that the parting shot we got for Burke, it looked like that's going to be like a brain snatching with the extra mouth, tongue. So, yeah, I kind of think that he'd be out. Range 0 meters. Oh, it's the tracker. Where is she? Is it a little convenient that the facehugger egg is coming out and she's waking up at just the right time to get found by Ripley before the place blows up? Like, there's a small window in which this could work, right? Where this could happen. This is a very feminine energy, actiony movie, nonetheless. Though we got like mother rescues daughter in a way, right? But the big bad is a woman, also the woman that tried to snatch your kid. I mean, ways to think about it, right? But they don't step on the male characters. They don't say, got to send a woman to do this is what happens when you send a man to do a woman's job. Like, none of that, right? And of course, we also had the like funny looking, not Newt, like Newt puppet kind of, as she Newt mannequin as she runs with her, right? Because, hey, lots of takes hopping around carrying this kid could be dangerous. Oh, pretty good looking miniature stuff here. Though, I'm not sure how much of it's that miniature. Like, because the queen is in full size, pretty huge. I really don't know. I'm not sure about this. The egg sac stuff, surely that's surely like laying the egg. Surely that's a miniature thing, right? But it's also smooth. You could see the queen had hands up. Like, there's a pose to this, right? It's like resting state. Okay, now I'm awakened. You also see in the Alien Romulus promotional material. Oh man, that was a rough shadow light coming out from under the tail of that xenomorph, but just the way the AI tried to correct that. But yeah, it looks like there's an alien queen head in Alien Romulus. The face, the way the mouth goes is certainly unique. But if we got in diminishing returns on the queen, like, is it that impressive a threat at this point anymore? I mean, the queen kind of gets kicked aside in too many films. The newborn in Resurrection just slaps the face off. All right, here's the deal. We're going to back out of here. And I'll let you keep your eggs. Like the egg could have known it was breaking the deal. Come on now. She's like, seriously? Flame on. Now, those flames look a little brighter. I don't think we're really hitting that peak brightness, though. There are a lot of weird details on the queen. Like, there are like a lot of bright blue streaks in places to kind of bring out some detail in the shadows. You know, it's not coming out like that. I'm just saying, like, if you actually saw this in daylight, the queen would actually look a fair bit different than as depicted in the narrative. Yeah, we've got some sweet rear projection stuff happening here. I mean, I guess one would assume you've taken care of the queen at this point, right? Like, Turn around, we got a few soldiers. Here, for good measure, there's some explosives. Oh no, the queen can detach. Oh, oh man, this looks so good. Like, it's amazing how we haven't done better than that. Like, because you can't, I guess. Like, if you nail it the first time, then where do you go? Yep, follow the trail. Let's get out of here. I like how the computer, it's not giving you that have a nice day, kaboom. Like that gets the uh voice over the voiceover computer self-destruct sequence thing. I guess it might have started with Alien and it kind of gets parodied now. You'll come across these like countdowns and then they'll in a joking fashion be like, have a nice day, kaboom. I'm trying to remember exactly which movies do that, but it always bothers me. Oh, the queen has made it. Now, can the queen feasibly use this elevator? Like, yeah, is there anything to suggest she's smart or, I mean, more than a few weeks old and would have figured this stuff out? Like, I'm not really sure. But then you have that kind of hive mind thing going. Has she collected the knowledge of the rest of her hive in a way? Some of them figured out how to use the elevators to go get people and you know have relayed the message to her. See, it's kind of a I'll take this elevator. All right. Not that there is that sense of urgency for leaving LV4, is it LV426? You know, before the atmospheric processor blows, but oh, Hicks said he wasn't going anywhere. Did he say, but okay, the thing is the platform's unstable. We do have to leave, but I'll be back, I promise. As this place is going up in flames with the composite here, it does look wonky as hell. So we'll see how the AI handles that. You know what? Not half bad. Yeah, that shot actually, that's kind of cleaned up in a respectable way. I think they must have, I mean, they, no, must have, but, you know, may have went to some serious lengths to touch that up digitally, I would suppose. By hand, I mean, about the only way to make sense there. And also, this is going to look quite miniature here. The dropship leaving the scene. The score hits. The James Horner score. And the, like, percussion clink, 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 clink. And you'll hear it more when they launch the queen out the airlock. That ends up in like every trailer for a decade. Honestly, that miniature there looked better than when I last watched this film. Like and leaving the scene, I don't know if there was really enough. Here's kind of what I'm talking about. with the score, that is. But I think you also get that at the very end with the fight. But you kind of think it's over. Like, it's been a pretty long movie. We blew the thing up. There's been a big explosion. We ended the last one. There was a big explosion, but there was still an alien to deal with after the big explosion. But anyway, sure seems like we've left. There may have been enough debris picked up in the landing gear to say something was smuggled aboard, like something got inside. Is there enough room for the Queen? And did it look like there was enough mass there that the Queen was somehow inside of it? I don't really think so. In fact, I almost wonder if you look back here, like I highly doubt that the Queen can be viewed from that shot of the parked dropship. I doubt the Queen's in view here, yeah. See if we just kind of keep an eye out here. I don't think it's that big of a space, but yeah, it would be something if you could actually see her. And this is shocking. It's like, what's going on? And maybe it was the next landing gear door over, for that matter. But, you know, it looks like the one that was directly behind them. So, really quite smooth how this, just the whole thing works. Like, oh, and then it touches down and... Oh, there goes Newt doing her thing. And you can see that the teeth positioning on like the Queen, it's almost got like this auger rotational type thing happening with it, where it doesn't look like the teeth bite down, but maybe they drill. Heck, maybe we'll see that in action. I'm just saying that because of the way they're pointed, but surely this version has the rectified hole for Lance Henriksen's body, because he's got to be sticking through the floor. And for quite a while, they have fixed that. It might not be fixed on the DVD release from way back when, but I think it's been fixed since then. Because he has to like lean out of the hole, and it gets to be kind of noticeable that how the effect's done. Aha. That's probably the best B word in the movie history right there. Yeah, I mean, these things can lift those missiles or bombs. I mean, it might be able to throw around a Queen alien, sure. Now, against the soldiers or the drones, you might be in trouble. They might be small enough to be able to interact and get through the armor, for lack of a better word, more efficiently. All right, now we got our kung fu poses. Don't mind that wire in the Queen's tail. It looks so good, you can't tell at what point are we going to miniature or not. But there will be a part where they drop below. The queen kind of grabs the power loader and they go in miniature, but it looks good. Okay, so there is a snatching effect there, but from the way that the teeth are angled when first shown, and I guess they might have subbed out the head, like use a different head that has the mouth mechanism that works, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this looks full size, but it isn't, so pretty amazing. Though there was a shot there, bird's eye shot, where right before Ripley unhooked, it kind of didn't look like Sigourney Weaver. But then I have to wonder, is that AI doing something? Or was that a miniature yet still in the power loader? Though, I mean, if you have this whole scene made and you can have her in the seat, then I guess you wouldn't use the miniature there, so I don't know. But that might be an effect of the AI making a face. Hang on, Ripley. Yeah. And the queen floating in space has always looked a little sus, but I mean, I think it looks fine there. It does have a sort of like sped up stop, and there's the part where we've digitally erased his hole. That looks pretty convincing. You wouldn't know otherwise. Yeah, it's like this, almost the same music. Dun, 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 dun. Close the door. Make sure you lift your leg up. Oh, here we go. We got one more iconic line in us. Oh, she called her mommy. That's not what I'm talking about here. Not bad for a human. Also, the name of Lance Henriksen's autobiography. All right, I promise we can go to bed now. We already had Hicks sealed away for sleep, or, well, I guess maybe we didn't because now it's open, but no, we're closing it. Or maybe he was hit up with a bunch of drugs. But, yep, okay, everybody can go to bed now. Did they have kid clothing aboard? Is that something they maybe keep just in case they rescue somebody? Have various sizes of pajamas? Yep, the nightmare is over. We can both dream now. Conquered her fears. No longer has the night sweats or nothing. We can have good dreams until the start of Alien 3. Then we'll just kind of undo all this. And that does it for Aliens. You know what, guys? I think I actually like this release for the most part. Okay. Could have used more peak brightness, maybe stronger shadows. Brought out a detail in a way that I hadn't seen this movie before. Out of just curiosity, you might want to check out this disc. Until next time, adios.